Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Reel2ReelTexas.com Vintage Recording Collection Quick Tour. We hope you enjoyed the different parts of this. This third segment kind of wraps up the recorders that we have in this other room, even providing some information about the Mitsubishi X80, which was a real significant recorder as things moved from analog recording to digital recording. Thank you for your time in watching this. Please help support our Museum of Magnetic Sound Recording. We really can use your input, we can use your donations, we can use your equipment donations, and your volunteering to do anything to help us build this museum. It's going to take a lot of work, and we really need your help. Thank you so much for your time in looking at our videos. This is the Ampex AX300. This is one of the last prosumer recorders made by Ampex, and it came with its own remote. On the far side of this room we have the Ampex wall, starting with the Ampex 600. You've got 602 above it with its speaker system. You have the fine line F44 below that. We have the AG500. This was a later version of the PR10.
For my life from the long arm of the law.
This is being operated from the remote back behind here. Down below that you have the AG300, and at the bottom there we have the Ampex 400, and this 400 just received a brand new reconditioned amplifier. Working great. Behind that we also have the Ampex 960, and behind that we have actually an Ampex 720 that had removable speakers, and you can see one of them there in the corner. This is the Ampex ATR100. This unit is interesting in that it was also produced by TEAC. It came out in just a slightly different configuration. It was called the TEAC A7300. The Ampex 600, this is the gray unit, and the Ampex 600-2 is the gray unit.
This is the Rolling Stone News Service, and I'm Ben Fontouris. The Eagles are Glenn Fry, Don Henley, Bernie Ledden, Randy Meisner, and Don Felder. And the Eagles are a combination of music, imagery, and hard work.
Mavericks, who packed not only the stage area, but the surrounding fields as well. And Selena, one of this year's Grammy winners, closed the festival on Sunday evening.
This is another one of the instrumentation recorders that we have. This is the Ampex PR260, and you can see by the various inputs at the bottom of it. Very neat unit, very interesting configuration. I talked about the Berlant Concertone earlier and the different things they built. Well, we actually have one of the first Berlant Concertones. This is a 1401. This was built in 1950, cost $345. Again, it's sitting right in front of the Ampex 400, which was an interesting machine because it actually had a left-hand drive. Whoa, that guy's noisy. This was made by Heathkit, and basically it's made for 10.5-inch reel fast wind. So it's got 2 super motors in it, and it's called the Speedwinder. Probably very handy for studios if they knew it existed, to save their recorders' rewind capability. In this room we have multiple microphones. Interesting one here has a EQ switch selection on the Shure. We have a matched pair of Ampex microphones. You've got a stereo microphone here from Norelco knockoffs. There's the Electro Voice 664, the Astatic 77, a very early Shure Spring microphone. This was the voiceover and actually recording area that we originally planned. And this is a beautiful TAC 338. Runs 1/4 inch, 7.5 IPS. Has an incredible mixer built in. And over here we have one of the last Ampexes actually made by TAC. It's the ATR100. Down below we have an old RCA amplifier and a Bogan amplifier. We have documentation on things like the ATR100, and we also have a wireless Sony mic, one of the early wireless Sony mics. That's a neat Nakamichi 600. We also have the Nakamichi 550, as well as the Marantz PMD 201 of Roberts that was marketed as a portable broadcast recorder. And then we have the 330 that the Believers used, and we have a PhotoSync unit in the background here made by Roberts. One of Telefunken's later machines, which is the 204 Sony TC755FX, which I'd used for on-location recording and playback. We have a woolen sack recorder that has a great interesting load. If you look closely as you go start, it actually brings up the pressure roller, which I think is rather unique. And on top of that we have a Euro-made Telmar portable system, taking it out on the beach. TAC 1000R with its dust cover. Again, I mentioned we had a lot of dust covers. We have a lot of dust. A great old recorder. The Sony TC265.
Wow, in a fairy tale, I used to take her home in my car.
And on this side we have an older Sony 777 with the gray front. Below that we got the Sony TC655. So our collection continues into the studio bathroom, which gives new meaning to singing in the shower. And we also have in here more memorabilia and actually a tribute to Star Wars, because TAC used the 88 to do the sound effects for R2-D2 and 3CPO. And so we have a cassette recorder actually of R2-D2, and then here is a TX store sign from Britain, a Bell & Howell cassette player in the round, and then a tape actually about the making of Star Wars. This is a CD and reel-to-reel unit that was released by China, which is really kind of strange because if you look, it's actually using cassette size tape, so it's using a 1/8 inch tape, but you can evidently transfer a CD to that. More seriously, here is MagnaSync's magnetic film recorders. And these guys are really unique, but again, another area for magnetic sound recording. Very cool units. This is another magnetic film recorder. It's a MagnaSync Nomad. We also have an ICO RP100. Very interestingly, this matched the original ICO amplifier I built for our studio. Okay, now we're entering another room that we have displays, and right off the bat you will see that we have a Tape Sonic unit made by Premier Electronics. This guy is working and doing quite well. We have the Ampex 100, the ATR100. Great working unit. Behind the Ampex ATR100 we have one of the Sony's last reel-to-reel products, which is the ATR100. Another Sony, which is the TC755, Ampex 601 with the 620 speaker system. This is just a classic Ampex, really working well. No tape lifters. This again is a Rolling Stone clip with Joan Baez.
4 people, a mother, a woman, a musician, and a politician. And at the time, it was the mother that obviously had top priority.
Yeah, I think it was hard enough things to eat, until they came up.
Great units. This is my wife, Chris's favorite. This is a wire recorder. It has a bobbin in back. It does rewind. Play.
Sorry, Cal. I've got to talk to you. I can't risk going back to your jail.
You put that gun away, damn savage. Talk your poor head off. Come on inside.
All right.
This is the Bang & Olufsen Dynaco Beocord 2000. This is a really beautifully designed unit. Great cabinet. Interesting mechanism.
Says you are half now your whole. No more hunger and
Really smooth operation. Next in this room, I'd like to talk about the brush. This is the brush BK401. This is one of the first American consumer recorders to hit the market. And you can see the ad for it on the right in the 1947 Saturday Evening Post. Came with a beautiful microphone. One of these was brought to Willie Studer and asked if he could rebuild it for the European market. He worked with the unit for a while and decided that reconfiguring it for the European current would not be worth it, so he started over with his own. And he'd only been an electrician, he really hadn't been into tape recording. And his first unit was called the T26 Dynabox. So this is one of Willie Studer's very first machines. This is the A77 that is in an A76 tuner and A76 amplifier set. Love the design. It also has flip down controls where you can get additional controls.
starting, night is calling, and I am falling, dance with me. Just like the sunny morning light.
The Studer A807. This is where Willie Studer ended up after starting to work on the brush recorders. It was such an excellent recorder. Incredible tape handling. Beautiful machine. Reel2ReelTexas.com museum was lucky to acquire one of the original Ampex 200As. This recorder belonged to Leo Gulka, who was a producer in California. It's number 33 of 212 that were ever built. This machine originally belonged to Capitol Records. In its original form, it was a mono machine. Degar Gulka actually reconfigured it to be a stereo machine, and he did away with the original electronics and put in Inovonics amplifiers. As I was looking through the Ampex history, I found that Ampex actually did have these units upgraded, and that they put in the Ampex 300 amplifier, and that's what we have down below here as this unit is being restored. We hope that we can actually have both the original electronics for this unit as well as have the Ampex 300 and the Inovonics. We need to work on wind motor capacitors, of course the electronics. But what a beautiful machine. And again, this is number 33 of 212. This unit was in Golden State Recording in San Francisco. It did demos for Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra. It also may have done some demos for Sleep at the Wheel, because they did some demos in that studio. But maybe mostly it is known for Whitebird and for mastering Tequila, which Leo Degar Gulka was responsible for producing. So this is one of the machines that started Ampex, Bing Crosby invested in. To its left is the next model Ampex came out with, which is the Ampex 300. The 300 was more compact, not as big, and this actually has a newer set of electronics. So we have both the original 300 electronics as well as a newer set of electronics. These are just beautiful machines. You can adjust the speed, rewind, fast forward here, and then you push start. Go to rewind, start. A little bit slow reacting. Pick up, or you go back to play. Now, one of the interesting things about this unit was I had been looking at this box from TIAC. And this was a celebration box celebrating 25 years of TIAC, Tokyo Electroacoustic Company. And on it they have the TD102. Our collection was able to purchase an original TD102 in its original crate, never unpacked. Originally this unit went to Nashville. It was never used. It was absolutely clean, including the hubs and everything. But if you look at the configuration of this TIAC TD102, it's almost identical as a miniature to the Ampex 300, which is really interesting. The Magnecord PT6 that was in so many radio stations, some studios, and just a workhorse as far as on-location recording. This unit has not only the real tape recorder, which has an interesting tape configuration, but also has a mic mixer on the side, a playback speaker system, a very early Turner mic, very early a static mic, and then the Magnacord's amplifier. Our most recent donation to the museum is a Mitsubishi X80 ProLogic razor blade editable 1/4 inch stereo PCM digital reel-to-reel recorder. It was donated to the Museum of Magnetic Sound Recording by Ed Helvey. This unit originally was released in 1980 and cost $27,000. This was a transition recorder from analog to digital. We're really excited to have it in the collection. We don't have cabling for this right now. We're in the process of getting some so we can show this unit operational. We'd also like to let you know that we are working very hard to establish a permanent public museum in Austin, Texas that would preserve this equipment, as well as look at what sound technology has impacted in the areas of music, broadcasting, film, video, and science. Please take a look at our Museum of Magnetic Sound Recording at this link. We would appreciate your support to help make this happen. Thank you. So this was just a very quick tour to give you a taste of what we have in the collection. We do have a 3 DVD set out right now that captures more detailed information on a lot of the collection. You can go to the Reel2ReelTexas.com website and you'll be able to order the DVD set. Thank you for watching this quick tour overview.